Hello my friends! In today's video I'm going to show you a fast way to paint your Deathwatch Marines, or a black armor in general, without an airbrush. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I start by priming the model in black. For that I use Vallejo Surface Primer Black through my airbrush. I will use this brush from Army Painter that is made for dry brushing, but you can use any other brush that is best for you. I will start by dry brushing all over the model with the Vallejo Dark Grey. It is important to wipe the excess of paint on a piece of paper. Next, I will dry brush with Vallejo Neutral Grey. With this grey I am trying to create a smoother transition between the dark grey and the lighter grey that will come next. With Vallejo Blue Pale Grey, I will start to dry brush the first light. I will apply the paint on the most exposed areas of the model. With Vallejo Pale Grey Blue I will dry brush the final highlight, trying to catch the edges of the armor panels and the upper areas of the model. To bring back the black on the armor I'm going to use GW Black Templar from the contrast range. I will add 1 part paint and 1 part water in my palette. I choose to dilute the contrast paint because I like to work it as a wash, and that gives me a better control. I will start to paint all the miniature with the Black Templar, and I will apply 2 coats of this paint. Try to avoid any pooling paint on the model because when it's dry it will leave ugly stains on the armor. All the great dry brush work that we did before, it helps to create a fake light on the black armor. Next I will paint all the silver parts with GW Leadbelcher. Thin it down with a bit of water. If it doesn't cover with the first time you can do a couple of coats till you get a nice coverage. For all the gold parts I use Retributor Armour. I'm going to paint the border with Mephiston Red. With the same red I will paint the wax on any purity seals, a red stripe on his right knee for the squad number and the eye lenses. All the leather parts will be painted with Rhinox Hide. I will use Zandri Dust to paint the parchment of the purity seals. Next, I'm going to apply some shades with washes. I'm going to use some Nuln Oil on all the silver parts. I paint all over these parts so it settles in the recessed details. For all the brown and the gold parts, I'm going to use Agrax Earthshade. It took me about 30 minutes with the filming until this step. If you are satisfied with this result, you can stop here and place the miniature on the base and it's ready for the gaming table. Or if you want some more details, let's see what else we can do. With a piece of sponge, I will take some neutral grey and I will apply some chipping effect on the model. After that, with a small brush, I will continue with some more chips and scratches. With the brush we can achieve more control chips on the model. As you can see, I am painting on the edges but I am avoiding to do clean lines. But instead I create a texture like a damage on the armor. I prefer my models to look more dirty and damaged. Next, with Vallejo Blue Pale Grey, I will enforce the previous highlights. And with Vallejo Pale Grey Blue, I will paint only at the edges of the armor. Finally, with Vallejo Ivory, I will paint a small dot on the sharpest corners of the model. Next, I'm going to use GW Mournfang Brown, and with this color I'm going to give the first highlight to all of the leather parts. Try to hit all of the edges and creating some textures on the leather with scratches. After that, with Balor Brown, I'm going to paint all the extreme highlights. Next, with Evil Sun Scarlet, I'm going to start edge highlighting the bolter case. With Wild Rider Red, I will paint the next highlight and I will do some scratches on the surface, on the red surfaces of the bolter. Then, with Fire Dragon Bright, I will paint only the edges of the bolter case. After that, with the same colors, I will do the highlights at the eye lenses. At the end, I will add a small dot of Vallejo Ivory to create a shine on the lenses. Again, I will use the same red colors to highlight the wax on the purity seals. For the first highlight on the parchment, I'm going to use Ushabti Bone. For the second highlight, I will use Screaming Skull. To paint the letters on the parchment, I use a mix of 1 part black and 1 part Rhinox Hide, and carefully paint with the tip of my brush. For all the silver highlights, I'm going to use Stormhost Silver, and trying to catch all the edges to create some nice shines on the metallic parts. And with that, the Deathwatch intercessor is complete. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found this video useful, and if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. A huge thanks to my awesome Patreon supporters. See you guys in the next one. Bye!